Coach Mike Young addressing his Wofford team in the locker room. This is the road to the Final Four from Milwaukee. Action from the Midwest region. The number 15 seed, the Wofford Terriers, taking on second-seeded Michigan. Look at the bracket. Winner here will play the winner of Texas, Arizona State, still to come here at the Bradley Center. Hi, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle. Lewis Johnson will join us momentarily. This truly is big school versus small school. Doesn't get much bigger than Michigan. Doesn't get much smaller than Wofford in Division I play. Jimmy, style of play. Michigan, very explosive. A team that went to the national championship game, lost to Louisville last year.
And with John Beilein's team, I always throw a lot of different things at you defensively. And from the offensive standpoint, they run their sets. They shoot the ball from long range. 3 and 4 guys can shoot it from deep. The Terriers, on the other hand, really have to be patient. They can't let this go up and down. They shoot the ball well, too. 37% from the three-point stripe. Patience is so important for them, though.
All right, let's check out the game matchup between Wofford and Michigan. The Terriers, second smallest school in Division I basketball. Presbyterian is the smallest. Good defensive team within the Southern Conference. Michigan limits the turnovers under John Beilein and limits the fouls, the fewest personal fouls in college basketball. Mike Young, his 12th year as the head coach at Wofford. He has brought the Terriers to the NCAA tournament 3 times in his career. Starting lineups for Wofford: Collins, Garcia, Cochran, Skinner, and Newman. Michigan has Levert. The Big Ten Player of the Year, Nick Stauskas, Walton, Morgan, and Robinson. John Beilein, what a fantastic job he's done with this program now in his 7th year at Michigan. This team went 25-8, 15-3 in the Big Ten. We're underway in Milwaukee. Michigan controls the tip. Derek Walton Jr., a freshman from Detroit. Young backcourt with Walton and Levert. Stauskas on the dish. Kicked out to Robinson. He's off the mark.
And even though they didn't score, that's a good look at how Michigan likes to run their sets. A couple of touches on the left, bring it to the right side, looking for open shots. Very unselfish team.
Our officiating crew: Roger Ayers, Robert Stafford, and James Barker. Carl Cochran averages just under 16 points per game. Jump shot for Skinner to get things started for Wofford.
And obviously, when you're playing a team like Michigan, so important for Wofford to get off to a good start. Hit that comfort zone pretty early in the game.
Michigan lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game, 69-55 in Indianapolis. Karis LeVert, one of the most improved players in the country, really stepping forward in his sophomore season with the losses of Burke and Hardaway. Mitch McGarry out after back surgery. Walton hangs, doesn't get the roll, and it's rebounded by Collins for Wofford.
Garcia handles the point for Wofford and does a great job handling the point, making the right pass, limiting his turnovers.
Did not turn it over in the Southern Conference tournament. Eric Garcia, the freshman from Aurora, Colorado.
The freshmen are supposed to turn it over all the time, especially in tournament games when they get bigger and bigger. Not him, though.
56-53 win over Western Carolina in the conference championship to advance to the NCAA tournament. Shot clock is winding down. Collins gives it up. Inside, the finish by Skinner, the junior from Lombard, Illinois.
And a good example at their end of the floor offensively. You notice how patient they were, making the extra pass, just like Michigan did on their first trip down the floor.
Work the perimeter. Here's Walton using the Morgan screen. Just over 2 minutes gone by in this first half.
We do have size in some of these positions. Look for some post-ups as we get moving along in this first half of Michigan.
They showed on a double, now backing off. Robinson is fouled. Lee Skinner took a slap at the basketball.
Well, look at the spacing on the floor right here. As you go to the basket, a little hesitation, and there's the drift to the right. A good spread. One of the things Wofford wants to do is make sure they spread the floor.
Wofford was 2-3 in conference play before rattling off 9 straight wins.
Mike Young also said he thought they were a year away.
Again on a rack attack.
Well, one of the things that you cannot give up are the post-up play with Michigan. You have to keep them off the floor. Watch for Wofford to really pack it in defensively.
Half-court set, catching fire. Cochran, it doesn't go. And a push against C.J. Newman.
Well, Michigan, one of the things they want to try to do is make sure they're attacking, especially with the size advantage that they have. And there is no one home defensively. One of the things that Wofford wants to do is pack it in. But basically, everybody on the weak side has to slide over to the power side.
Michigan won its first outright Big Ten regular season title since 85-86. There's the smooth delivery from Robinson. Glenn Robinson III, sophomore from St. John, Indiana, has tied this game up at 4. Garcia handles it. Collins in a matchup with Stauskas on the perimeter. Catch and shoot. Garcia rings out on a 3. Came in shooting at 47% from long range.
Well, he had 2 good double screens set down below.
Eric Walton Jr. Only a freshman, but John Beeline said he was really matured nicely. That's out of bounds as it hit James Barker standing on the sideline. So turnover Michigan. We told you they don't turn it over often. 9.4 per game. 7th fewest in the nation. Generally, every pass is a good one with Michigan. That's why John Beeline has been so successful with his teams. Garcia swings it inside. Rejected by Morgan. He pinned it against the glass. Skinner couldn't get a clean look. This is Newman. Trying to follow it all in one motion. Spencer Collins gets denied by the rim. Michigan looking for the lead. Robinson the shake and bake. Stauskas gets around Cochran, and he draws a foul on himself. Yes, offensive.
Well, here's the drive and the step through. And it's going the other way, so good work there defensively, packing it in.
Michigan taking on Wofford, and the Terriers are without their senior. Aris Smith shut it down after the conference tournament, had right knee surgery last Wednesday. The Charlotte native played his final collegiate game. It's time for our Powerade sideline report. Lewis Johnson has more.
Yeah, and I was talking to Aris yesterday during practice, and he was saying how much he misses the opportunity to be able to be on the court with his team tonight. But he said the fact that he was able to travel and they still treat him like he's a player has been huge. Sure, there's some frustration, but he said being on the bench kind of gives him a chance to be sort of like an assistant coach to try and offer some advice and assistance throughout the game. And you'll see he's got that huge immobilizing cast on his leg. He's going to have a regeneration program for those muscles that go into atrophy, rehab, and the finance major says he believes the business world is his next move, and his dream job is to operate his own gym one day.
Well, there's no doubt that he will attain it, I'm sure. Very emotional interview after the game. It went viral. Wofford got a lot of attention from it, and Aris Smith in particular, the way that he handled himself. Off the timeout, Cochran unable to hit, but it's rebounded by Newman.
Notice that Cochran gets 2 and 3 screens set for him in most offensive possessions when they're going his way.
Skinner had it bounce off the back of Levert and a turnover. Robinson the long strides. A lot of contact, no call. Good look for Walton, who drains it.
Yeah, that looked like they could have gone with a charge on that play because he left his feet. A little reckless drive to the basket, but they come away with one.
Michigan gets 65 points from their underclassmen. That's 4th most in the nation. Floater doesn't go for Collins. And Walton looking to break out. Levert pull up hot, book it.
They have size in their positions on where they can jump over most of the Wofford defenders, and so far we've seen a few of them, especially those ones where you get into the paint off the dribble. The elevation has been perfect. Michigan off to a nice start here.
It is an 8-0 run. Zach Irvin, another freshman, is in for Michigan. Newman trying to step through, and it's off the mark. Levert leaves it for Robinson. The flip, no good. Newman clears it.
Pretty good work there by Skinner, getting in the way just enough to get Robinson to think on his drift to the basket. Wofford has to convert those short shots. They've missed 2 of them already.
After hitting on their first 2 attempts, they're 0 of their last 7. Cochran, too strong. Newman couldn't grab it, and it's out of bounds. Zach Irvin went after it.
And if you recall, I asked a question of Mike Young yesterday. We were having a nice chat with him. I said, what if Cochran shoots 1 for 5 to start the game? What's his mentality like? He said, he's going to keep shooting. It's as if he's 1 for 1, not 1 for 5.
And he's 0 of 3 so far. Carl Cochran, most outstanding player in the Southern Conference tournament, scored 23 points and grabbed 5 rebounds in the win over Western Carolina. First team All-Southern Conference, nearly 1,400 career points for the Terriers.
Leads the team in steals this year and assists.
John Horford is in for Michigan. John Swinton in along with Jalen Allen and Justin Gordon for Wofford. 8-4 lead for the Wolverines.
The other things at the offensive end, they do take the clock down.
Jump shot, Jalen Allen, no. Here's Lavert. He's got good handle. 13:25 to play in this first half. An 8-4 lead for Michigan. Robinson will set things up. 13 to shoot. Robinson the crossover. The leaner, no. And rebounded by Swinton.
Good work on the defensive glass also just then. Look the high screen, little pick and roll there. Top, nothing there.
Cochran short. Cochran now 0-4 from the field. Walton Malone, too high, it deflects. Looking for Robinson. Out of bounds.
You know, one of the things in watching Cochran, too, he's missed, as you just touched on, his first 4. The shots look okay. The rhythm, this goes way upstairs. Different territory right there.
Wofford is 2 of 12 from the field. 0 of its last 10 as Derek Walton sits. He's replaced by Spike Albrecht, the sophomore. John Swinton, junior from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Defensive-minded guard, averages just under 2 points per game. Handling it for Wofford. Cochran, post-up opportunity, double comes on Skinner. Skinner needs some help. Allen, it goes for Jalen Allen.
How about the cross pass also? There were 2 and 3 guys creeping over to double team the post there. A good look there by Wofford across the court. They seem fairly comfortable on the floor right now.
Michigan up by 2. Just about 8 minutes gone by in this first half. Got a lot of space for Lavert to work with. Horford sets the screen. Irvin pulls the trigger. Rims out on a 3. And rebounded by Allen for Wofford. Wofford with a chance to tie or take the lead depending on shot selection.
Give you that impression that they're in a hurry to get things done, but they're not.
Cochran turns it over.
Got to be careful. I think they got him.
They did. Frustration from Cochran after losing the ball, and he picks up his second 2-point lead for Michigan.
Update time and 7-10 matchup. St. Joe's and UConn. St. Joe's Langston Galloway leads them with 12 as they lead by 7. We make a beeline for Milwaukee.
Oh, I like that. Working in the head coach of Michigan.
Very nice.
He's sly, but he's stealth.
Oh, he's good. He is good.
Tournament summary, ACC 3-0, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, NC State. Winners, Big Ten is 2-2. Wisconsin and Michigan State winners, bird mascots. What do you consider a duck? Oregon got the win, 1-3.
We don't have anything better to tie it in with you.
All right, that works. Esoteric, but still works. 9-6 Michigan in front of Wofford. How about style of play? What were you expecting, and what have you seen through the first 8 minutes and change?
Well, I'm looking at Wofford, and I'm saying they look kind of composed in terms of, even though Cochran hasn't been able to hit a shot, and he had a few good looks, actually, but they look fairly comfortable on the floor. The key becomes, if Michigan runs their sets like they are right now, will they get these open shots?
Stauskas, a 3. Big Ten Player of the Year, Nick Stauskas, shoots it at 45% from downtown.
And that's how they wear you out, right on cue in terms of setting the 2 and 3 screens, patience, and then they get the exact shot that they want.
Newman on a handoff for Swinton, directing traffic. Now in a 12-6 hole. Newman gives it up. Underneath to lay up for Justin Gordon.
Nice release there by Newman, too.
So the sophomore from Charlotte gets on the board. It's 12-8, Michigan. Half-court set here for the Wolverines. LeVert, the roll to the rim. Wofford twisting inside for the Dukes.
See, that's what I think, and I'm not sure Wofford is going to be able to handle that every single possession down the floor, because John Beeline's squad, they don't take a possession off. If they get a breakout, they'll take it. But they wear you down at the offensive end of the floor.
Spencer Collins. Ball deflected. LeVert the length. And comes away with it.
Great hands, too. Getting low to the floor to get that steal.
Irvin, the jump shot. He sticks it. Michigan 16, Wofford 8, as we approach the halfway point of this first half. So Cochran now on the bench with 2 fouls for Wofford, their leading scorer at 15.7 per game.
So now Wofford has to really work to get a good look. Cochran, they'd set 2 and 3 screens for. He would usually get most of their shots in the open side of the floor.
Pull up top, Collins doesn't go. Allen tried to keep it alive. 7 different Michigan players have scored their 16 points. A collision just inside midcourt and a foul call. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Changes here for both teams as Morgan and Robinson check back in. LeVert and Wofford sit for Michigan. Eric Garcia returns for Wofford, along with Lee Skinner. Michigan trying to bring this lead to double digits. Wolverines are 7 of 12 from the field.
Again.
Stauskas looking to go one-on-one. Now gets Irvin involved. Timer is down to 12. High screen from Morgan. Ooh. And a blocking foul is called as Stauskas was looking to drive that area. Jalen Allen is charged with his second.
You notice how he's moving to his left or our right, looking at him defensively, so a good call from the officials. Never established the position. Close, but not there.
Well, it's been well documented. Stauskas is stronger than he was his freshman year, and that's really worked to his advantage. Morgan, they give him the jump shot. And he gets the bounce. Michigan has stretched the lead to double digits.
And we've noticed early with Michigan, they very infrequently do they take a bad shot. It's never rushed. Right there at the free throw line, Morgan just had to wait it out and very patiently got his shot off.
Get it down low, the back end, Skinner, shovel, no. Morgan the board.
Each trip, Wofford in the paint. They've been looking for block shots, and they're not there. They have to continue to go after it.
And Stauskas is fouled on the outside by Allen. That's number 3 now on Jalen Allen. And the 6th team foul against Wofford. So they'll rotate John Swinton back in. Allen takes a seat for Mike Young. Cochran already on the bench with 2 fouls.
I was thinking the same thing there with Cochran. You know he'd love to get him back on the floor, but when does he take a chance, if at all?
Not a whole lot of offense right now for Wofford.
Right.
Trailing by 10 to Michigan.
Young might be playing for the second half here. We'll see how this plays out if Michigan goes up big.
Stauskas the pull-up. So smooth.
There is. And once again, that pull-up shot, he's very, very good at that. And Michigan, it's one of the things Wofford has to make, be aware of, the fact that they can't let this get out of hand and leave Cochran on the bench.
It's an 8-0 Wolverines run.
They go to the hole, they have to finish.
Collins for 2, count it. Spencer Collins, consistent inside-outside skills out of Easley, South Carolina. He has started all 66 games of his career.
4 out of his last 6 games, though, he has not been in double figures, so struggling a little bit down the stretch.
Michigan shooting it at 64%. They've got a 20-10 lead on Wofford. Stauskas comes to the ball, and it's going the other way, and Morgan hands it to him, and then started to move. The Big Ten Player of the Year, Nick Stauskas. All-around skills, fantastic shooter, and has an impact on all parts of the game.
Well, Michigan, when you think about it, the patience, the attacks that they've had early on, 6 assists on their 9 buckets, but under control. They're not in a hurry, and they're one of the good teams in the United States that you look at them and you say, you know what? Doesn't matter who's their leading scorer, even though they know who it is most of the time.
Game summary, 9 of 14 from the field. Fast break point, 7-0. Neither team has shot a free throw. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spanarkel here in Milwaukee. And Michigan is starting to impose its will here on Wofford.
And I think down low they're doing that too at the defensive end of the floor. Wofford is getting their shots, Ian, but when they're down in the middle of the paint area, I think they're just intimidated just a touch. And they're looking for defenders instead of looking for the rim. So continue to go after the basket. If your shot gets blocked, grab it again and go up a second time. But don't start looking for guys to block your shot.
Carl Cochran is back in there for Wofford. Jump shot, he nails it a long 2-pointer. So Mike Young felt he went as long as he could with Cochran on the bench and needed to get some offense back on the floor, and he instantly delivers.
Push off right there is going to go the other way. LeVert.
Eric Garcia takes the hit. LeVert picks up the foul. Turnover, Michigan.
You'll see the extension right here. Good defense. Hand comes out, pushes off, and now we're going to see whether Mike Young is correct or not. Cochran is now 1 for 5, isn't he? And he said he would just continue to keep shooting. He's got to be very careful in the last 6 and change to stay away from that next foul.
Collins gives it up. Garcia will dribble out of trouble. Suffocating defense from Michigan. Jump shot for Collins. No. LeVert the board, and they push.
Let's look at that matchup too. Cochran.
The spin. LeVert. Can't get it to drop. Rebound. LeVert's got it. Saves it inside for Morgan. He's got a mismatch on Garcia. Now clears for the freshman Walton.
This is where Cochran has to be real careful with Walton maybe trying to go by him once.
We approach 6 minutes to play in this first half. 20-12. Michigan. LeVert again. The cross. Hangs. And the foul is called.
I think that foul should have been called about 2 dribbles before that, too, out on the floor there.
Eric Garcia on the foul. 17th foul against Wofford. So Karis LeVert, 80% shooter at the stripe. Michigan actually got upset by Ohio 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament. Coke Zero wants you to know, are you a real fan? Hashtag prove it. Visit the Coke Zero Social Arena in March Madness Live. So how does that loss 2 years ago have anything to do with Karis LeVert? Well, LeVert was actually set to go to Ohio, and then John Gross, after those 2 wins, got the job at Illinois. He was released from his scholarship offer, didn't get offered in Illinois. Michigan scoops him up, and here he is 2 years later, one of the best players in the Big Ten. Did you follow that? I'm sorry, Jim.
I followed it. It's late in the day, but I did follow it. John Beilein obviously opened the door for him, which was a good move.
Wofford is 0 of 5 from three-point range, and now 0 of 6 off the fingertips of Robinson, and the Terriers will hold on to it.
But you can see, even with his misses, why Cochran scored a lot of points in their conference. He comes off those screens, catches it very quickly, and turns and releases it even faster.
He's all everything for the Terriers. Rebounds 5 per game, assists 3 per game. turnover. Wofford to the hoop. The scoop, no. Robinson, the rebounding traffic, and an easy bucket for Glenn Robinson III.
Well, even though Levert did not convert on that one, Ian, how about the extension from almost a free throw area? Just missed that little underhand.
Second all-time meeting between these two schools go back to 2006. Michigan beat Wofford 83-49. Garcia, the fend-off. Cochran keeps on firing. Side rim.
He's got to be careful right now.
Oh, Wofford! Cochran with the steal. Garcia is fouled. What an effort by Carl Cochran. You're right. Could have been his third foul. Instead, he comes up with a turnover and sets up Garcia.
Yeah, usually when two guys go down, now watch this play, he gets right there, and when two guys go down, generally that call has a problem with the offensive player, but because Walton did not go to the floor, Cochran ends up getting that basketball away from him and making a nice play.
And instead, it's the second foul on Karis Levert. Garcia, 68% free throw shooter. Second one coming. Levert sits. Replaced by Zach Irvin for Michigan. And now John Swinton comes on for Wofford. They're going to protect Carl Cochran here.
I think after watching that play, Mike Young is making a serious decision to get him off the floor and just talk to him a little bit.
4:50 to play in this first half. Just saw a shot of Darius Nichols, an assistant coach for Wofford. He played for John Beilein at West Virginia, so has insight into Beilein's approach and philosophy. Stauskas, you can't stop that.
No, I was going to say insight is one thing, but how do you stop that exactly? The way he comes off that screen. Well, he gets good elevation, squared to the bucket.
7 points for Nick Stauskas. Out of Mississauga, Ontario. 25-14, Michigan.
Where do the points come from? Without Cochran, a different look. Without him coming off the screens.
Skinner, pump fake, runs into Morgan and made it obvious. Using that offhand to create some space, and he's called for the foul.
Well, especially when, look where the official is right there in the background. I mean, it's right in front of him. Easy call. He just steps right up. Makes the call. James Barker right on top of it.
This is a Michigan team that started the Big Ten schedule 8-0, then lost at Indiana. Still finished up at 15-3 within the conference. Michigan shooting 61%, Wofford 29% from the field. Out of bounds, Stauskas and Robinson not on the same page. 7th turnover for Michigan. Will step aside. Just under 4 minutes to play, first half in Milwaukee. Joining you from the Midwest, and this is action from the Midwest region. Michigan leading Wofford second round play. Fantasy baseball fans, don't settle for less than the best. Move your leagues to the #1 fantasy site. Visit cbssports.com/commissioner to see why it's the best. 25-14, the Wolverines leading the Terriers. This Wofford program went from Division II to Division I back in 1995-96. Had their first winning season in Division I play in 2008-2009. And they have been an outstanding program since that point. NCAA tournament appearances in 2010 and 2011, and then back here in 2014. Jump shot doesn't go for Cochran, who's back on the floor. Down to 3.5 to play in this first half.
Cochran now 1 of 8. He's got the assignment out front where he has to be very careful that he doesn't lead with his hands against Walton.
That means Collins is matched up with Stauskas. Walton ball fake. Cochran sticks with him. Robinson plants himself in the lane and scores.
See, there's that ability to jump over people. Robinson once again using that baseline cut. John Beilein's offense just spreads the floor out. A lot of different tendencies, but they set perfect screens for one another.
And Michigan has its largest lead of the half. Pull-up jump Collins. Count it. Spencer Collins from the outside. Cut it to 11.
They answer with a little screen of their own down on the baseline for the jump.
Keep it on the perimeter. The jumper from Robinson. It's a 3-ball.
Well, if they're going to hit their shots like this, they're a tough out, Michigan.
9 points for Glenn Robinson III. Michigan leads by 14. Now this is the largest cushion. Cochran scoops it in. Tough angle for Carl Cochran.
Now, see, one of the things, though, you have to credit him for, though, he has not shied away. He's still looking to shoot. And more importantly, he takes one to the basket to try to see the ball going through the hoop and getting a good look.
Under 2 minutes to play in this first half. Robinson over Newman. Book it.
You really get the feeling that Robinson right now and his teammates, when they're shooting their shots from anywhere from 12 feet out, they feel that they're not going to be blocked. 5 for 8 for him right now, but when they're shooting the basketball without that fear of a dead block, everybody becomes a better shooter.
Robinson has that quiet confidence. Sometimes people think he can be passive, not assertive, as he could dominate games. Garcia, no. And it's rebounded by Wofford. Michigan is 67% from the field. The pull-up, Irvin. And it's rebounded by Cochran.
I think that's number 2 in terms of bad shots for Michigan in this half.
Cochran, the fadeaway, doesn't go. And rebound taken by Stauskas. In this fast-moving first half, we've got 1 minute to play. John Bielon makes a call. Walton will get them organized with 17 to shoot. And the steal. Cochran will streak in for the Deuce. Timeout called by Wofford. 8 Michigan turnovers. This is a team that averages 9.4 per game. Wofford trying to hang around against the number 2 seed in the Midwest. Carl Cochran, something happened after the steal and taking it to the basket.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's looking to elevate there, and it's either on the takeoff on the plant or when he landed afterwards. Kind of jogs back okay. Then it starts to hit him a little bit.
Trainer came over and he waved her off, but Cochran is now on the bench for Wofford, and it's the left knee.
Yeah, even with that, and I'd still take him out of the game right now because of the 2 fouls that he has received. The 3 for 11, slow start for him. But there's no need to take a risk in the last 40 seconds here of having him on the floor.
He plays bigger than he is. He's 6'1", 175, but he goes into that attack mode. Michigan up by 12, and a 4-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Irvin, Robinson, Morgan, Walton, and Stauskas. 5 on the floor for the Wolverines, and a foul is called on Swinton trying to defend Stauskas.
They're over the limit, obviously, at 9 fouls, so he'll go to the line right now.
So Nick Stauskas, 82% shooter at the free throw line. Entertainment Weekly calls Survivor TV's most unpredictable adventure. Watch the battle between brawn, brains, and beauty. Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. And Cochran back in for the final 24.1.
Well, this on the offensive side, but he has to be very careful if they miss, that he doesn't get himself into a position where he could pick up a loose ball, jumping around, going after it, going after a missed opportunity off the glass.
9 first half points for Stauskas, who now heads to the Michigan sideline, replaced by Spike Albrecht. 24 seconds to play in this first half.
I know that Mike Young is thinking if he can steal Cochran one more time, one more good opportunity to get a shot off, he'll take it.
14 seconds to play. Michigan up by 14, and there's the foul.
Plenty to give, though.
That is team foul number 5 for Michigan. 10.9 on the clock.
They could even do that one more time if they have to.
just fouled with 5.4, so that's the head coach being on top of it, relaying it to his team. And now Wofford has the 5 seconds and change to work with.
Now it becomes a panic situation. Get one entry pass, maybe one extra pass and a dribble. Watch the guy entering the basketball. Always dangerous, and it happens to be Cochran.
Cochran triggers in. Turning. Gordon fires. Off the mark, and that's how this half will end, with Michigan shooting it at a 64% clip. They've got a 34-20 lead on Wofford. Impressed with what you saw out of the Wolverines?
Absolutely. You know, from the standpoint, the one thing I like about them is the way they run their sets, and they're very, very patient with them. They end up getting wide open jumpers in a game like this with the competition. I think they're in good shape, obviously, as the score indicates.
Lewis Johnson standing by with John Beeline.
All right, thanks very much. Well, Coach, the shots are dropping, but you also have 8 turnovers. How are you going to control that for the second half?
Well, you know, we just gave that last one away. No, we only turn over about 9 times a game.
Right.
So we got to take care of the ball, make sure that number 2 has got probably 3 of those steals in it. So just take care of the ball better, pass the ball the outside in, and be willing to go backdoor sometimes.
All right, how about the tempo?
Well, I like the tempo right now. Wofford's got a really good defensive team. It's tough for our guys to get in front of them. They're doing a great job. But right now, 34 points at half, that's normally what we do. We just got to keep guarding them to win this game.
All right, Coach, thanks. Ryan?
All right, Lewis, thanks very much. Michigan with the halftime lead, 34-20 over Wofford. Second round action from Milwaukee, and the Wolverines in front. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after this message and a word from your local station. Michigan leading Wofford 34-20. Moments ago, Lewis Johnson caught up with Wofford head coach Mike Young.
Well, Coach, first of all, Carl Cochran looked like he injured his left knee before the half. Is he okay?
He's just fine, Lewis. He's got a little tendonitis, something that we've had to manage throughout the year. He's fine.
He and Allen both in foul trouble early. How did that affect the first half? How would it affect the second half?
Well, you know, it did adversely affect us a little bit, and some of the things that we can do. We need Cochran on the floor versus Stauskas, but, you know, some things we had to handle. You know, we got to make a shot here. We're getting great shots. We're screening very well. We got to put the ball in the hole.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Lewis, thank you.
All right, Lewis, thanks very much. Ian Eagle, Jim Spinarco, getting ready for the second half. We've seen 15s knock off 2s in recent years in this tournament, but it's going to take a special kind of effort for a 15 to beat a 2. We didn't see that in the first half from Wofford.
No, we didn't. Cochran didn't shoot the ball well at all, but also I thought one of the things, they were looking for guys to block their shots. They only had 1 shot blocked against them. That's all Michigan put up. So if I were Mike Young, continue to go after and challenge, but Glenn Robinson for Michigan really played well, under control and very smooth, as he just really found his shots from both the inside and outside, 5 of 8 from the floor. And I spoke about Cochran's struggles a little bit. He got some good looks. You'll notice those are the types of shots he's been hitting and putting down all year long. He's wide open. He's just coming up short on some, long on others. So he has to get a couple of shots in here during the break at halftime, get his rhythm back, get a little confidence. And you can bet on him that he's going to come out and look at the shoot.
Buffalo Wild Wings first half stats. Wofford takes an 0 from three-point territory, 0 for 8. Michigan 9 points in transition, and they shoot it well from the field. 14 of 22. Start of the second half here at the Bradley Center, and Michigan has got the lead on Wofford 34-20. Terriers with the ball to open up this second half. Spencer Collins made a couple of jump shots in the first half. Here's Skinner up back in, trying to fake out Morgan. Kick out for Cochran. On a skip pass for Garcia, 8 to shoot. Garcia takes the baseline. High pass is intercepted. Wofford darting towards the rim. Wofford can't get it to go. Walton loses the ball, and it's saved by Wofford's Collins.
2 good plays there by Collins on that play, not giving up an easy layup. Cochran's going to look for some screens now. He'll start running without the basketball. So far, the first 2 possessions for Wofford, a little shaky in terms of the lob passes. Nothing really going at the offensive end.
Garcia needs some help.
Some high screens there.
Cochran sets it up for Garcia. Shot clock is down to 4. Down to 2. Cochran off the rim. It's rebounded by Morgan for Michigan.
He's the guy they look to as the shot clock disappears. Way outside that trick. Nothing going for 2 possessions for the Terriers.
14-point lead for Michigan. Wofford is now 0 of 9 from 3-point territory. Levert is looking for Robinson. Now he'll get involved, but coughs it up.
Robinson forgot to look at the basketball. Simple catch along the sidelines, and he's starting to see the head turn just then. He looks, doesn't get a good clean look on the ball, and disappears on him.
That's turnover number 9, matching Michigan's season average per game. Slow start to this second half. Newman. 20 to shoot. Collins in a matchup with Stauskas. Trying to take him off the dribble. Leans in. No good. And it's rebounded by Robinson. Robinson, the pull-up pump. Short. Cochran looking to run. Garcia steps into it. Doesn't go. Rebound to Skinner. Skinner tried to take it strong. Instead, it's Collins rimming out on a 3-ball.
That's a good decision by Skinner also to kick it back out for the easy look. Boy, as Mike Young just mentioned to Lewis, we just got to hit him a couple of shots. We're getting some open shots, and they're not going down. But guess what? You got to continue to shoot them.
Wofford is 0 of 4 from the field in the second half. Michigan in the NCAA tournament for the 4th straight year, 25th overall appearance. Levert swings it. Stauskas, not a lot of space, doesn't matter. It's a 3.
Boy, you're not kidding. No space at all, I would say. And he looks over his shoulder and talks to his bench as he heads to the other direction.
And Nick Stauskas has just gone over the 1,000-point mark for his career in his 2nd year at Michigan. Michigan has extended the lead, 37-20. Out of bounds, 18 to shoot. Wofford will retain it.
And watch that little bit of a flare going towards the corner. Noby at home at first, and Cochran a little late getting there, but it wasn't a bad defensive effort either with the quick release.
2010, Wofford lost in the NCAA tournament to Wisconsin, 53-49. Collins jump shot, no. Stauskas, lead feed, tipped by Cochran. But Michigan has got it.
Good work by Levert coming back too. His body was headed down towards, hoping to get a layup on that play, and readjusted and ended up getting that loose ball.
Entry. Robinson the fake. Draws the foul against Skinner.
As we saw a bit in that first half, Michigan starts to wear you down with the extra pass, with the extra screen. And just chipping away right now, up 17.
75% shooter, Glenn Robinson III. Late bloomer, was not a huge recruit. First couple of years of high school. They watch every move you make, but can they stop you from being the victim of a crime? Don't miss a new episode of Person of Interest. That's Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
See, it's not a selfish offense that John Beilein runs, right? It's a real team-oriented, but doesn't Robinson look like the type of player that if he wanted to be more selfish, he could score a whole lot more?
No doubt, if they wanted to feature him, but the balance is there. 13 points per game for Robinson, 13-3 for Levert, 17-5 for Stauskas. He's the one that's really stepped forward with Burke and Hardaway gone. Good move on the inside by Gordon.
Did you notice with Gordon just then, unlike the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game in the first half, not looking for a guy to come get his shot, more direct, more instinctive basketball, and I think that's what Wofford has to continue to do when they get it down on the blocks. Just challenge the Wolverines.
Half-court set here for Michigan, 38-22, they lead it. Levert, air ball, rebounded by Garcia. Up the floor in a hurry. Cochran and pull-up. Count it.
There's some money right there for him, right? That little pull-up. And once again, Garcia making a good decision. Enough dribbles in the backcourt until he releases that pass so Cochran can do something. Only 4 of 13 from the floor. That was a rhythm shot for him.
8 points now for Cochran. Over 1,370 in his career at Wofford. Morgan.
Great effort.
And a turnover. Give the credit to Collins, who hit the deck.
Big squeeze of the floor defensively there in 2 different areas.
Collins, the drive and dish. Ball fake. Cochran using the screen. He thought Morgan was going to roll to the rim, and that was the right play.
He sure was.
Stauskas open look. In and out. It was halfway down, rebounded by Cochran.
Sometimes those are the tough ones when you're sitting out there by yourself.
Wofford is 0 for 11 from three-point range. Michigan is 4 of 8. Just about 6 minutes gone by in this second half.
Walton has the job right now, staying with Cochran.
Gordon, 9 to shoot.
Somebody's got to help him.
Shot clock is down to 5.
Nice cut.
And the lay-in goes for Cochran.
I was beginning to think that he had to just throw that one up over his shoulder to get some action on that one. A beautiful cut, though, by Cochran when Walton turned his back.
Michigan is just 1 of 5 in the second half. Stauskas off the rim. Rebound. Scooped up by Skinner. Triggers for Garcia. Loses his footing. Garcia trying to get the timeout, and he gets it at the 13:24 mark. Wofford has cut it to 12, trying to make a run on Michigan. Second half action for Milwaukee. Who do you think will come up big today? Tune in to the Inside March Madness postgame, presented by Buick, to see the surprising performance of the day. Second half here at the Bradley Center. Michigan 38, Wofford 26. This is the 2-15 matchup in the Midwest. Winner here will play the winner of the Texas-Arizona State game still to come in Milwaukee. Next, Stauskas, the Big Ten Player of the Year, averaging 17.5 points per game. Stauskas has looked sharp with 12. Robinson has 12 as well. They're the leading scorers for Michigan. Cochran, the high man for the Terriers, with 10.
But I'm thinking that John Beilein's probably thinking with the turnovers that they're not as sharp as he would like them to be, even though it's their first game in the NCAA tournament. And he will hope that they get a little sharper in the next 13 minutes.
We'll see if they tighten the screws here, as Wofford has a chance to bring this back to single digits, depending upon the shot selection. It's a 3 from Beeline. It doesn't go. Rebound ricochets to Cochran. Cochran the drive, the floater. He's starting to pick up the pace.
And he's starting to mix it up, too, Ian. If you notice, right, a couple of drives late in the first half, a drive right there, squeezing his way, and sometimes that's the best shot you can get, is an 8-0 run in the last 2:35. Might be the best time to shoot the basketball when you have a broken play like that.
No Mitch McGarry for Michigan. He's on the Wolverines bench after the back surgery. Stauskas forced to give it up. Robinson fires. No good for 3. Right back to him. And a new shot clock for Michigan.
They fill the court so well. By that I mean when they dribble and go to one side, a shooter follows the dribbler, but he's spaced so well.
Irvin is in there. Zach Irvin out of Fishers, Indiana. Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana.
Nice ball handling, huh?
Walton, baseline. The slam by Horford.
I just started to think a little bit how they don't look to attack with the post players, and then they come right back and check one in there for Wofford.
That's the absence of McGarry, and the combination of Morgan and Horford have stepped in to try to provide post presence. Leaning attempt by Skinner, no, it's rebounded by Wofford.
Yeah, the leaning attempt, but also the hesitation cost Skinner that trip.
Lob it inside. Wofford turns, bank shot, doesn't go. And it's rebounded by Jalen Allen. stretch up the floor for Swinton. Swinton the curl. On a kick. Allen. 3, no. Rebound. Newman hits the deck. And a tie-up. Possession arrow to Michigan. We get a timeout with 11:08 to play in this second half. Wofford trying to stay in it against the Wolverines. Watch live games on your Amazon Kindle, Android device, iPhone, iPad, or computer with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. Winner here will play the winner of Texas-Arizona State, the 7-10 matchup in the Midwest. That's coming up from Milwaukee.
Well, statistically, you know, Wofford's still hanging in. They're shooting the ball at 33% for the game, and in the second half, Michigan only 2 for 9. So Mike Young's team just battling away. Got to tip your hat to them. They're hanging in there. They're working hard. There's no question about that. But as he said, halftime interview, just got to hit a couple of shots. They just haven't been able to do that to get over the hump.
Mike Young said NCAA tournament teams in 2010, he knew they had a good team. Stauskas wanted a foul call, didn't get it. In 2011, he said it was all about not wrecking the bus. The team was destined to be an NCAA tournament team. Again, this year, mid-February was the time where they could see signs that maybe this team could be something special. Gordon gets the deuce, and Wofford cuts it to 10 with 10.5 to play in this second half. It's a 10-2 run for the Terriers. Spike Albrecht is in there for Michigan with Irvin, Stauskas, Wofford, and Levert. Irvin doesn't go for 3, and Wofford lets the rebound bounce out of bounds.
So down 10, they still continue to work. They hit the blocks. Gordon with a little drift across. Down 10. Still in there.
Well, surprises all over the place, Ernie. Not necessarily here, though, in Milwaukee. Everything has stayed true to form. Earlier today, Wisconsin beating up on American. And then Oregon over BYU. Wofford is on a 10-2 run, trying to add to it. Jump shot is off the mark from Cochran. And Michigan still maintains a double-digit lead.
See the kind of shot they get. Usually after a break, John Beilein's teams come out and execute.
Morgan out front. Loses the ball, and a foul is called as Mike Young just put his hands on top of his head. Third personal on Carl Cochran.
And at this point, Cochran just runs the gamut right now, not even thinking about, worrying about his foul situation. Down 10, under 10 minutes to go, he plays it out, even if he picks up a quick fourth, most likely.
We asked Young about Cochran. He said he's a dynamic scorer. He really bleeds heavy. Robinson doesn't go. And the rebound snared by Swinton. Cochran using the screen. That's a 3. Bucket.
Whoa, wait a minute here. Crowd's starting to warm up, huh?
You got Wisconsin fans. They've got their Big Ten allegiance, but it doesn't necessarily work on the Michigan side. 13-2 run for Wofford. Robinson, the baseline kick. Irvin, a 3. It's rebounded by Cochran.
A little bit of belief building at this end of the floor for Wofford.
Slow it down with under 9 minutes to play. 40-33, Michigan.
And then somebody just hit a 3, too. Cochran. Let's see if they try to run him off the screen. He's setting it up. He gets his choice to come right or to come left.
Get it to Cochran. Pump.
He loves that shot in traffic, too. That's in his mind, he believes that shot went down.
Morgan rolling to the basket. And Morgan called for the foul. Or is he? They're going to count the bucket, and it's going to work against Wofford. Justin Gordon.
Here's that bang-bang difficult call. And as you start to bring the ball up, you have to have been established prior to bringing that ball up. Once an offensive player starts to bring the ball up into his shot, he has the right of way.
And a big swing there as he converts at the line for a three-point play to give Michigan the 10-point lead. Garcia in, Swinton to the bench. And we've got 8:20 to play in this second half.
Ryan, and all season long, that charge block call has been very difficult to handle for players and officials, but that was the correct one. It's understanding the rule.
Entry, Gordon. The fake, and the turnover. Robinson the pull-up pop. Yep. Over the backboard, out of bounds. Wofford will have possession. A 10-point lead for Michigan when we come back to the Midwest region. The final laughs, the final slaps, the final high fives. Only one new episode left before the How I Met Your Mother series finale. The countdown continues Monday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Team fouls. 3 on Wofford in the second half. Michigan is yet to get called on a team foul, but Michigan has shot it at 20% in the second half after shooting 64% in the first half.
That just stacks up that John Beilein's team does not put you at the free throw line. 2 for 2 so far. And if you recall, at the end of the first half, they had 2 fouls to burn, so his team plays the solid defense. Fewest in the NCAA, Michigan, in terms of how many fouls per game. That just means you got to challenge him a little bit, especially down deep.
And on the flip side, Michigan shoots it at 76% from the line, but they're 291st in the country in getting to the line.
Well, it's a perimeter-oriented offense that we've seen for the most part.
7.5 to play. 10-point differential. The spin by Gordon. It's knocked out of bounds with 8 to shoot.
But I think that's how you have to challenge them, though. You get the ball on the blocks and you do something with it. Go right at him. Don't be afraid to throw a body in there also.
Garcia tosses in. Akron almost lost it. Shot clock is winding down. Garcia, 3. It's stuck. Jimmy,
game over.
Go get it.
Get the ladder.
I can tell you right now, jumping on the rim and rattling the backboard is not a bright move, because we could be here for a while.
This is in basketball what they refer to as a rain delay.
Jimmy, why don't you tell us some great stories about your days at Duke?
How much time do we have, Ryan?
We're going to find out. The ladder is coming out.
I told you need a ladder. I'll get it now.
That is an impressive ladder.
I hope it's not too rung short, though.
No, he's got it. I feel good about this.
This could be the biggest ovation of the day right here. Depending on what kind of mood the fans are really in. And he better get it on the first one.
And he is going to go to the fourth step. And just like that, the most popular man in the arena. Little did he know he would be called upon at the 7:22 mark of the second half. And now he takes his ladder and leaves the court area.
He's having a flat roast in the back.
Those are pretty good. And a wave for the crowd. He knows how to milk the moment. High five as he leaves. Very impressive facial hair as well on that gentleman.
Well, he had to take advantage of the moment, because that's not happening again.
43-33. Michigan. Stauskas to the hoop. And it's going the other way. Frustration from Stauskas, his second foul.
It looks like Gordon gets himself in good position. There he is. Yeah, Stauskas tries to drift away.
Nick's mom did not care for the call. 43-33. 7:09 left to play in the second half. Over on TBS, St. Joe's and UConn coming down to the wire. Trying to cut it to single digits. The back end. Gordon turns. It hits.
Yeah, they brought Cochran way out. I mean, like 40 feet away to really get good, clear isolation in the post just then.
6 points off the bench. Justin Gordon has taken a big jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year, and he's given Wofford a lift. It's an 8-point game. 15 to shoot. Walton comes to the ball. The freshman. Baseline. Robinson somehow gets over to Morgan for the bucket. He's got 9.
I start to think that Michigan is going to start to go to the basket a little bit more. They can't rely on just the jumpers down the stretch here. It's great when they go in. You have a team starting to believe in themselves, Wofford, even though they're still down 10.
We'll hit the 6-minute mark of the second half. Garcia leaning jump shot is way off. Stauskas handles it. Wofford is 1 of 16 from three-point territory. And using shot clock, 12 to shoot. Walton, the penetration. Ball fake, Wofford, 7 to shoot. Circles with 4, with 3. Jumper, Robinson, no. Morgan, the offensive board. He'll take it strong and not get the wall. Tipped home. It's Robinson sneaking in for the putback.
Now, Robinson could have watched that one right there. When Robinson looks at that play and likes it.
You think Big Dog had a few of those?
Just a few. Don't watch the play. Don't watch your misses. Get back inside.
A gifted collegiate scorer for you and a long NBA career. In fact, here in Milwaukee. Off the drive by Collins. Garcia under 5 minutes left now. Michigan up by 12. Step back. Collins. Rimming, no. And it's rebounded by Robinson. And Michigan has gotten back into that comfort zone. Up by double digits, and now controlling tempo against Wofford.
I think Walton's decisions to drive through the middle of the floor has opened up baseline opportunities.
Here's Levert.
We're not seeing many backdoor cuts along the baseline at all for Beeline squad.
Levert on a 3. And a timeout called. 50 to 35. It's a 7-0 Michigan run. And the number 2 seed in the Midwest inching closer to a spot in the 3rd round here at the NCAA tournament. The Michigan Wolverines, the number 2 seed after a brilliant season in the Big Ten. Looks like they're on their way to the 3rd round. 53-37, Michigan in front of Wofford. 3:13 to play in the second half. Get the most complete coverage of every team in your bracket and the tournament's best moments with the TeamStream app from Bleacher Report. Fuel your passion with TeamStream on your iPhone, iPad, or Android device today.
Good Cochran involved again with the quick hitter.
Cochran drive and kick. Garcia works the perimeter. Cochran is open. A 3 comes off and tipped home by Skinner.
Well, he gets the tip because Cochran shoots the ball so softly from long range. You saw it hang on the rim. A lot of guys hit that rim and it kicks off, but he's got such a quick, soft release with that ball coming down.
Skinner now with 6 points, 6 rebounds for Wofford. Down to 2:40 to play. Levert, 8 to shoot. Defended by Garcia. Slipping to the rim, Morgan in a foul. It was Skinner who thought he got it clean. And Morgan to the free throw line at the 2:26 mark.
Yeah, you have to take that foul under those circumstances.
Jordan Morgan, 57% shooter. One of the captains of this squad. He's been a steady defensive player throughout his Michigan career. Already earned his degree in industrial and operations engineering. Working on his master's now. 1 out of 2. Over on TBS, UConn and St. Joe's headed to overtime. Catch and shoot. Cochran is off the mark. And the final 2 minutes and change here for Michigan.
Pretty good track, though. He gets his shot off, even though as he comes around a double screen, defensively, Michigan was with him pretty nicely, and he still gets his shot off because of that elevation.
Strong first half for Michigan and some rocky moments in the second half. More turnovers than John Beeline would be content with.
Yeah, especially in that first half.
Stauskas, the shake. Morgan, the offensive rebound. And Michigan gets to use more clock. The Wolverines fans sitting behind the Michigan bench now on their feet. A minute 25 away from the inevitable. Michigan moving on here at the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, the little things that Morgan does. He's open down low. Interdigit rebounding effort tonight.
Walton gives it up. Stauskas, open look, shooting practice.
How about one with the cross right in front? They know they need a bucket just to end it.
Under a minute to play now. The spin, it doesn't go. And Spencer Collins going to the free throw line as Stauskas is called for the foul.
He took a shot at the same time just then. He's arguing that he was right in the middle of the floor, positioned pretty well. Checking to make sure he has all the teeth.
Collins, a 78% shooter. Wofford went 13 and 19 last season, 7 and 11 in the Southern Conference. So quite a turnaround for this Terriers program. And still a young team. Garcia, a freshman. Collins, a sophomore. Newman, a sophomore. Skinner and Cochran are juniors off the bench. Allen's a freshman. Swinton's a junior. Gordon's a sophomore. So they'll have this group back next year for Mike Young.
And that's why Mike Young thought it was a year away. So he's happy with what they've had, the success this year, and they put up a nice fight here for a while.
31.4 left in the clock. So Michigan on Saturday will take on the survivor of Texas and Arizona State. That's coming up here on CBS. Andrew Dockich checks into the game for Michigan. Glenn Robinson gives his son a hand, who heads to the sideline. And Wofford empties its bench as well. That's it for Nick Stauskas. Conference Player of the Year sits. 15 points for Stauskas and his family in attendance here in Milwaukee. Also in Sean Lonergan for Michigan and Max Bielefeld. Eric Wagenlander on the floor for Wofford.
John Beeline's just going to have them run out the clock because everybody on the floor wants to take one. After
going to the NCAA championship game, Michigan begins its run in the 2014 NCAA tournament with a victory over Wofford. 57-40 is the final. For Jim Spanarco, Lewis Johnson, and the rest of our crew, this is Ian Eagle. Michigan advances. The #2 seed moves on in the Midwest region.